Muscle Dragon here. Hey guys, it's been a while. Well, it's been like a month. It has been a month. Didn't mean it takes so long till the next Tell-All update. I was planning on releasing a Tell-All vlog every week, but procrastination kicked in, and not just that. The later on Tell-All content is going to be more on a negative side, so I wasn't sure if I should share it. It's kind of personal, it might get weird. Some may be offended, but not really. But I figured since I started, I might as well see this through to the end. Because if you start something, you might as well finish it. So that's why I'm here today. And also going through a transition period and lots of weird stuff going on. So that's why, that was the recording schedule kind of got effed up. But today is going to be Tell-All Vlog 02, Visitations, Interdimensionals, Demons, and Imposters. Well, I have interactions with these type of entities since as long as I can remember, and even in modern days now, it's happened since I was a kid. That's why to me I don't think of Hollywood movies as scary, because the things that have happened in real life make them seem like kindergarten play productions. And I'm not trying to say that to boast or like over exaggerate, just it is, movies, they're not real, and then when you see it in real life it's like, okay, yeah, I've seen that before. But I'm not sure what story I'm going to start out with, because I didn't have any game plan getting on here. Just figured I'd fire up the camera and get this done. So, like I said, I'll start with when I was younger, just like how the aliens and UFO stories from the last Tell-All. And it won't necessarily be in straight chronological order, and I'll jump around a bit. But I'll save some of the newer events probably for later videos, because there's certain videos and experiences, I should say, that can be a whole video all unto itself. So this will probably be like a quick cliff notes to give various scenarios. Maybe give like some that's like not a big deal to ones that are a big deal, just to give you a general idea of some of the things I've seen. Not as cool or interesting as the alien ones, but still weird nonetheless. Okay, first up, I'm at my grandma's old house. It's me, my brother, and my two cousins. We're running around the house. It's an old style house, but not too old. It's pretty big, decent size. We're running, playing tag, like kids would do. And next thing I notice there's an extra shape. There's a fifth shape running around playing tag. And everyone, and they're like, who is that? There's some other weird shadow entity, weird kid who looked like a boy. I wouldn't say full-on shadow, because he looked like a more so like person. This kid came out of nowhere. And no, it wasn't a random neighbor or stranger, because the household wasn't that type, and the doors were closed and no one could came, and then that kid vanished. But we were playing tag with another kid, but it didn't kick in until we realized, we're like, who's that over there? I thought it was like, because if you're hiding behind this couch and so and so's over here, who the heck is that? So there's that weird kid. Another thing in that same house, my grandma's old house, me and my brother were spending a night at our grandparents' house. Like when you're a kid, sometimes you like to do that. And we left our room that we're staying in for some reason. I don't know why. And we went to go down the stairs, but we heard that we saw like the TV light was on, because it was night, the house was shut down. And we could hear like the TV was on, and like we can hear a video game playing. It was a Dreamcast at the time, so that kind of gives you the time frame when that was. And we went down the stairs, and we could hear it was the Sonic adventure game, I believe, being played. And we're like, what's going on? So we went to peek around the corner, and the TV was on, the game was on, and the controllers were sitting there in the chair, and some entities were playing that game, and we booked it back up the stairs. And we're like, oh my goodness, because back then, I don't know if I mentioned it, we were raised as hardcore Bible thumping Christians, and like the family was all like Christian and religious. So you had Christian, non-denominational, Jehovah Witnesses, and other types as well. But my grandma is a Jehovah Witness, so yeah. But we saw that, and we went running all the way back up the stairs. We're like, oh my goodness, who the heck was that? Another time going downstairs in the grandma's old house, went around came down the stairs, went around the corner, and I was gonna head to the kitchen, probably look for some food, and we noticed that there was this shadow figure hiding behind this plant. Because there they have these trees and pots, so these mini small trees. I don't know what they're even called now, but excuse me, that was a phone going off. I don't know if you could hear that, but and this shadow figure was hiding behind this plant, just looking. And again, we probably reversed and went out there. Now, like, these type of stories could go on all day long. I could tell you a shadow figure A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z, peeking around this corner, looking around that door, hiding here, interacting there. Pinching people, touching people, different weird stuff like that. And that can go on all day, so I'll get boring. I'll just say, like, so there's been countless different things like that. In the bathroom, you see, like, the doors a crack. So, like, you can see, like, these two red eyes just looking at you. Cliche stuff, like, weird stuff. And, like, everyone in the family has stories of what they've seen and experienced at that house. So it's not just me, it's not just my brother, it's uncles, it's aunts, it's my mom, it's my grandparents. Everyone's had weird type of stories. At the time, I want to say they blamed probably my grandpa for messing with tarot cards. So I think they said he contaminated and infected the house with demon activity or something along those lines. And who knows what else he's getting into, they said. And I believe my cousin around those time periods was like into witchcraft, and there's this story of it's not firsthand for me, so I won't really get into it, but they have a story with that. But so they had all those, their cause and effects or their theories of what was causing it. Back in the old house, not my grandma's house, but our old house that we lived in, I was lying on my bed one day, just minding my own business, wide awake because it was daytime, and out of nowhere I felt a hand touch my face, and it went like this, like a gentle hand just went across my face. Different weird things like that. Okay, as far as the imposters go, before I go to the imposters, there'll be times when me and my brother are home alone, no one's in the house except for us and the dog. And we'll hear upstairs, like, the rocking chair from our parents' bedroom moving, and, like, the floor creaking. We're like, what the heck? And you can hear someone, like, walking up there. And there's no one above us, it's not like it was an apartment, so no one could be making that type of noise. And we would hear something walking. You'll be sitting in the living room watching TV, and, like, I saw, like, this weird creature in, like, a cape or a cloak jump into the kitchen, and, like, you see it jump in there, and real weird stuff, like, all the time. And you would always hear things and see things. But as far as imposters go, one day me and my brother are talking to our mom, and she's telling us about this strange dream. I'm talking about this dream made no sense. It was totally off the wall. I'm not even going to get into it. But, no, whatever, I'll get into it. It's just so stupid, but, like, our mom was, like, telling us this dream about, like, how it was, like, a chaotic scenario going on outside, and this stranger, like, busted in the house and broke down the door, and, like, came into our bathroom and stole our towels. Like, towels that you would, like, dry your hands or body off, and they stole the towels and left. That was the gist of the story. And we're talking to our mom for, like, hours, like, almost, like, half the morning. And then later on, when we went to talk to our mom about, like, what was up with that dream again, that was weird, and she was like, what dream? And she was acting like she never even had a discussion with us. And we're like, what are you talking about? We were talking all morning. And it's just like, no, I wasn't there. So, like, obviously you can say, okay, she's playing a prank on you, she's crazy, we're crazy, but she claims it was not her, and that story just made no sense, and, like, she wouldn't even say a story like that. So, like, in retrospect, looking back at that moment, it's kind of like, okay, so this entity told us, like, this story that kind of made absolutely no sense. Don't know why. Now, what I mean by imposters and how that could have been an imposter, one time, my brother Like I was younger. Like these are all like really young stories. Like when I'm really young, when I'm in that old house, it's all like elementary school age and below. Just in case you didn't figure that. But I was in my parents' bedroom, and my brother left the room to go get his Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And when he walked into the room, he saw me standing in there. But I was with my parents. But he saw something that looked identically to me, but it was like almost translucent. You know, we would joke and say it's like a hollow bob. We would call that years later. You know, after we've seen things like Destroy All Humans, now they could put on those cloaks and the aliens could disguise themselves as humans, be it like holograms and like light technology. Didn't mean to stop that video. I hate doing multiple cuts. I prefer to be a little bit smooth, but had to replace the battery. I know that's a noobish mistake, and I thought I heard the doorbell, but where was I? Okay, so I was talking about how, you know, the light technology of using holograms to mask their appearance and look like someone you know. And like, we're not the only ones who have seen people or like things imitating the look of someone else. You know, allegedly there's been times in our family when people mentioned that someone would show up to someone's house and it was not even them. Who knows? I can't confirm those stories because those didn't happen to me personally, but for the ones that has happened to me, I can confirm on those. Also, okay, another thing. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, okay, wait, I'll get to that in a minute. Because there's two. One time, I'll get to Yu-Gi-Oh one in a minute. We're reading, you know, me and my brother are staying in our room, we're reading books. He's reading The Magic Treehouse. I don't even know what the hell I'm reading. I can't remember. For some reason, I remember he's reading that. So I don't know if I was reading something or BSing. I don't know what I was reading. Maybe I was reading another one, but I don't know. I can't say. For all I know, for some reason, he was reading Magic Treehouse. I was doing I don't know what. Next thing we noticed in the corner of the room, you know, in the doorway, there's a wizard. A cliche wizard just standing there. You know, the typical long robes, long gray beard, older looking gentleman, you know, wizard. He slowly backs up into the hallway, disappears, and he's gone. We don't know where he went. After he disappeared, who knows? And also with magic type of stuff like that, we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And we're laying down on the floor, have our placemats, got the cards out, you know, acting like, you know, saying, I summon, you know, and next thing you know, we see Dark Magician. The actual Dark Magician. Now you can say, oh, this kid's with super overactive imaginations. No, because we're wide awake conscious, it's not like you're imagining it, and if you are, like, we're, creating reality just from our imagination, and it's literally appearing like psychopaths that most people would deem a crazy person or something. No, I believe that to be actual, like, entities or things or apparitions. Excuse my voice, it's a little, it's going, you know, sometimes your talking voice goes when you've been singing a lot, and so my voice is kind of drained. So excuse me if it sounds weird. But yeah, we saw Dark Magician, and again, he looked exactly how the Yu-Gi-Oh card appeared, so he was wearing the purple gear, and he looked like the card just brought to life. Now, when you think about Yu-Gi-Oh, and Yu-Gi-Oh was eventually banned in our house because it was deemed evil and not Christian. But if you think about Yu-Gi-Oh, when you're playing, if you're playing properly, going by the rule books, you're supposed to talk in a strong voice, and you're supposed to command it. So if you were to summon something, you're supposed to be like, I summon Dark Magician. Well, you wouldn't say it like that. You would say it way stronger. And if this stuff is based off of like real magic, I'm not talking about the TV show and the manga, how it is based off something, but I'm saying like in our world, if that game is based off of things, or even if it's not, maybe as kids we could be invoking these entities or creating like tulpas or creating like these creatures or summoning entities, or maybe the demons or interdimensionals would take the form of these beings that we're summoning and, you know, bringing back from graveyards and all this type of simulated activities. Okay, I got another good one for you. Christmas morning. So back in the day, it was Christmas, You know, you wake up really early, but I woke up because I saw something was in my room. I noticed the door was open, and I looked, and it's going to sound really strange, but at the end of the story it'll kind of make sense. I saw like the back of something go walking out the door, and when I closed the door, its cape got stuck in the door, and then it pulled it out of the door. What was walking out of the door was a conquistador. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if you're familiar with Spanish conquistadors, but for some weird reason we had like this painting that used to be on the wall in our living room of like this huge portrait of a conquistador, and it looked just like that thing. It was walking out of the room. This cape got stuck in the door, and I had to pull it loose. I'm like, oh my goodness! So I went to follow it to see if I could catch up, but I couldn't. You know, I went downstairs to see, you know, if the cookies and milk and stuff like that was gone, and it was gone, and the seats were actually warm, and like sure, and the parents claimed they didn't do that aspect, and like obviously, like if they were gonna play Santa Claus, then you would be dressed up as like a Santa. You're not gonna be dressed up as a conquistador. That would be just pretty weird. But to make a long story short, eventually, you know, they're like, that painting was deemed evil, so it was taken off of the wall and got rid of. And when it was taken down, that wall became extremely more brighter. Now there was always two windows on each side of this painting, and it was in the middle. But the wall was always dark. But you didn't think anything of it; it just was normal. But for some reason, when that painting was finally gone, that is when the room lit up. Okay, didn't mean to have that many interruptions, but I'll probably just stop it here. I have to either re-record this or just pick up with the next one. The next one's gonna be good though, because, you know, it'll be about demon summoning, possessions, and Ouija boards, so that one will be intense, and it's going to pick up. I just had to get those other ones out of the way because there are stories that were there, they exist, had to be spoken on to give a little bit of background insight, but they're a lot of the same, so to me they're kind of boring. They're not boring, but, you know, they're like, then you have so many of them, they're not as stand out as like the next ones that's going to be coming. So if you enjoy this, or you're just curious to know of the future ones, subscribe. Or if you want to hear about the aliens, go back and watch the other video, because the alien UFO one was pretty good. More stuff to come. We're moving from the past going forward. As we go forward, it will get better. You know, they're like, as younger, the stories are like, okay, interesting and weird, but as we get in the future, they get more deliberate and cause, as in cause and effect. So it should be good. See.